And it's my honor today to be the practitioner of the day and bring you this morning's meditation. Now, those of you in the sanctuary, notice the sounds, the water running, the background of Jackson's music. And for those that are at some other place and time, just settle in to that moment now. So just allow yourself to notice your body in the chair. Perhaps wiggle your toes. Feel your ankles, your legs, your torso, shoulder. Maybe move your neck and head a little bit. From the toe to the crown of your head, you are supported right now. Take a breath. As you inhale, allow your belly to rise and let go. If it feels good, do it again. And then just fall back to your natural pace of breath. This is God's breath. This morning we celebrate the last Sunday of July 2025. As we move towards the cross quarter, halfway between the summer solstice and the autumnal equinox. It's a special time of the year. The dog days, the height of summer, the coming of moisture brought up from the Gulf. Notice the cool air in the morning, the waxing crescent moon, the blue sky, the green of the trees, the fruit ripening. All of these are the blessings of life. You can notice them. There are so many. So today I wanted to notice those blessings that are all around us, that we can sometimes take for granted, or we can lose in the tumult of the outer world, shaking and moving and changing. But at any moment, we can just take that breath, go inside, and find the divine self, that self which is blessed and a blessing to others and ourselves. So right now, let's take a few moments of silence. You can always come back to the breath and these words. I am blessed. I am blessed. blessed. I am blessed. I am blessed, and I'm a blessing to the world as I remember to be my authentic self, as I remember to radiate my love of the world improves all around me. For the rest of the day and the week ahead, just notice all the blessings in your life. Notice the way that you can be a blessing to others. Smile. Allow your true self to radiate and shine like that light that it is. As you do that, the rest of the world shines too. Namaste.
Whoa. Give me some lights there, Clay. Let's practice a bit of gratitude for starters, shall we? Now, and you may not know this, but I've come to find out, just like in, if you've ever been to a circus in like a rural town, the ticket taker also turns out to be the ringleader, who also turns out to be the elephant trainer. It's like kind of like it dawns on you like one person's running the whole show. And it's been dawning on me that without our brother Clay, a lot of things would fall through the cracks in this joint. So can we, including running sound back there. So just expressing some gratitude for you, man. Because without you, well, if it was up to me, the chaos would be, if it was in my hands, the chaos would be unbearable. But another guy holding it down is Brother Bob over here. We do have Gail Steiger. And as you know, that is a lucky catch. I say the same thing every time. He's the only soloist. When I've called to say, hey, do you want to play? He says, I'd love to, but I'll be too busy counting cows. He's the only guy who's come up with that excuse. The other people just say they're busy, or I can't, things like that. Relatively boring reasons. Anyway, Reverend Tracy is here, and I know she is her emotions, the emotional pot is happening, and so we are loving her, and I know that will translate into an important talk for all of us. Eddie Watkins apparently just moved to North Carolina, and I guess he wanted that to happen, and he believed it happened, and so it did. And so we're going to start off by singing one of his songs. And keep in mind, these songs are, let me just say, did you tell people to stand up already? All right, real quick, I will say this. I'm going to say this real quick because I know I'm taking too much time. One of the best things I ever read was, I can't remember who wrote this book, but he was talking about, it was a chapter about Buddhism. It was the world's religions and his take on them. And he said, have you ever been in a group photo and then someone hands you the photo? And the answer, of course, is yeah, I've been in a group photo and I've seen the group photo. And the authors asked, who do you look at first? Do you know the answer to that question? And he said, according to Buddhism, that shows that the root of suffering is your addiction is to yourself. And the day you forget to look at yourself in a group photo, you'll know you're making progress. And that little quip really stuck. I read that 20 years ago, and it's like, wow, that really is a goalpost right there. I get it. And you can't do it on purpose. You can't be like, I'm not going to look. I'm not going to look at me. I'm not going to look at me. It just has to be by accident, like, oh, I forgot I'm in this, and I forgot to look for me first. These songs are very similar. These songs some of these songs come across like, I can't feel the words. I can say them, but I can't feel them. And so that might be a sign of where there's still practice to be done. And I speak of that as someone who is in special ed. Okay, let's just keep it real. Spiritual special ed. Anyway, Eddie Watkins wrote, anything is possible when you believe. We changed it to anything is possible because I. And he is correct. It is a toe tapper. Give me a little more volume, man. This is not assisted living right here. I need a lot more. Goes like this, sing with me. Anything is possible, 'cause I believe. Anything I believe. Faith can make a mountain move, 'cause I believe. I said faith can make a mountain move, 'cause I believe. Well, I know that I can change my life, 'cause I believe. I said I know that I can change my life, 'cause I believe, believe in myself, in myself, in myself, in myself. Well, I'm gonna make a miracle, 'cause I believe. I said I'm gonna make a miracle, 'cause I believe. Well, everything I want I got, 'cause I believe. Everything I want I got, 'cause I believe. In myself, in myself, in myself, in myself. Well, I believe in me, so I believe in you. And since we believe in each other, there ain't nothing that we can't do. So we can make a miracle, make a miracle, we can make a miracle, make a miracle, we can make a miracle, make a miracle, we can make a miracle, make a
Buddy, are we on? There we go. Good morning. Welcome to Centers for Spiritual Living Prescott. It's a beautiful Sunday morning. It's a lot cooler here than it is in Phoenix, I'll just say. But I wanted you to start out to thank you so much for everyone who is praying for my mom. Those miracles are working. She's doing better. She's had some ups and downs. She's been in the hospital 2 weeks, just to fill you in. You know, you start at a hospital with like, oh, it's kind of cool to be here, you know, okay, everyone's taking care of her. And at 2 weeks, you're like, can we get this over already? Not in that way, but you know, like let's get the party started. So it's just not a place you want to be for 2 weeks. But I have learned a lot of lessons sitting with her, and you know, the reconnection with your mom is always a very wonderful and beautiful thing. And family from all over has come in, and so, you know, in her words, we all got to go, and when that time comes, it comes. And so my point about this is, one, I'm tired. I was up till 1 at the hospital, but 2 is thank you, and I really appreciate the prayers and the kind words, and keep it coming, because you know, miracles are real, as Jackson's song said. We have a concert coming up. Cerise, if you don't know her, she makes the rounds in our centers. Man, she has got a powerhouse voice. She is a big singer for God. She is my most favorite metaphysical singers. And Daniel Nahmod, if you know who he is, produced this album with her, and she is coming to sing those songs. She is doing a VIP experience. We're going to have some food, and we're going to have a concert. So spread the word. Like and share on Facebook, you know, bring a friend. We want it to be very successful. It's affordable. It's also a fundraiser for us. And so I'm really, really excited about that. You'll start to, I know Clay played the video last week. We'll start playing it for the next few Sundays until she gets here. Practitioner of the day. We have John. He's our practitioner of the day. And if you are a practitioner in the audience or a practitioner student, could you please stand so we can give you a nice round of applause. Yay! We love it. So practitioners, you know, prayer is their thing, and their prayers have worked, and they are here to hold the intention. If you were here to see Trini, the medicine man or shaman, and I asked him how he got all these titles, and he said, well, they're given to me. I consider myself an intentionist. So I was like, oh, that's so beautiful. I think practitioners are intentionists. They set the intention for your best life, and they hold that in their consciousness for you until it becomes a reality. And that's really what they do. So I am all about the new title, intentionist. It's a beautiful thing, and it's inspired the talk today. So we have a lot of good things going on. Our grounds look good. I'm so happy to be back. I missed you, and summer's almost over. Where'd it go? Right? I saw a sign driving to the hospital. School starts July 31st. I'm like, when did that happen? We didn't go back until September 4th. Those poor kids get cut short, but I bet you their parents are happy. For those of you that are online, please, thank you so much for joining us. Please come down to the concert, see us in person, make yourself comfortable. We have a beautiful Sunday. I'm so excited. We will offer prayer after the talk is over, after the full service is over, and I'll ring the bell 4 times so you can exit and go have some refreshments. So that'll be available to you. And then if you just stay seated, and there's a few of us today, so we'll get to you. No one's prayer is more important than yours. We just ask that you wait and be patient with us. So that's a beautiful service that the practitioners and I offer after the talk. Let me see if I'm forgetting anything. No, read this with me. Beautiful intention. Let's read this with the intention of that we are what we read. That's what was so beautiful that Trini shared. Hey, I didn't know what to expect with him either, but I was so impressed that he got the whole sanctuary chanting. And I realized I probably need to give clear directions on what a talk is. But he is such a beautiful man, and he kind of did it his own way. And he blessed this sanctuary and our building. And it was a beautiful experience for me. And if you enjoyed it, we're all about experiencing new things. So I was thrilled at the new experience. Surprised me. I love being surprised. Read this with me. I am a divine being. My nature is clarity, calmness, harmony, and love. I accept everyone for who they are. My body is healthy and whole. And so it is. And John will be taking it from here for a few minutes. Thank you, sir.
So join with me right now and just recognize the Spirit, the power, the one presence that is right here, has always been here, will always be here. We say we invoke Spirit, but Spirit is all around. It is through us, as us, right here in our chairs, right out there in the audience, and everywhere that we can't even see her. There is no place where this presence is not, so it's right now. It's right here. It's with you. It's with me. Your breath, your presence, all right now. And so what I know is that this service is just perfect, and what you came to receive, you receive. The music moves us. Gail's words and song allows us to imagine something greater. And Bob's signing takes us to a new dimension that we can see but can't hear. Everywhere, every when, our blessings are unfolding today. So I'm grateful for this teaching. I'm grateful for this presence. And I just send these words of power into the action of love and law, knowing it is already done. And so together we anchor it by saying, and so it is.
This is a Darius Lux song. Sing it with me. So many choices in the world today. Choose love. Choose love. And keep on shining a light. Choose love. Choose love. Choose love. And keep on shining a light. Choose love. Choose love. You choose love. And keep on shining your light. Choose love.
Choose love. In every moment, at every time, we can make the choice for love. Now, Ernest Holmes wrote something that is for our reading today. He said, "Nature will not let us stay in any one place for too long. She will let us stay just long enough to gather the experience necessary to the unfolding and advancement of the soul." This is a wise provision, for should we stay there too long, we would become shocked and also rigid in our ways, too inflexible. So nature demands change in order that we may advance. So let's take that inside for just a moment. And how is nature nurturing you? Change is the blessed nature of life. Could I get the candle lighters to come up? The Center for Spiritual Living Prescott, guided by the science of mind, acknowledges the diverse faiths and spiritual traditions that enrich our world. Each belief system offers a distinct understanding of the mysteries of existence and a unique connection with the divine. Lighting these candles symbolizes our collective reverence for the diverse paths humans take in search of meaning and purpose. In this shared moment, we affirm and celebrate the multiplicity of the human experience. We light a candle for Christianity based on the teachings of Jesus the Christ, who taught the path of love, forgiveness, and healing by the presence within. For Islam and its teaching and belief in the one and only God, creator of the heaven and the earth. For Judaism, a community of shared laws, traditions, and family ties, which began with the covenant between Abraham and God. For Buddhism, the middle path of non-attachment that ends suffering. For Hinduism, the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. For the traditions of indigenous people everywhere and their close and sacred connections to the earth, sky, and her waters. For Baha'i, the path of unity and peace. For the goddess traditions celebrating the power and wisdom of the feminine energies, including nature and nurture. And for the science of mind, a philosophy of life that teaches there is a power for good in the universe, and we can use it. So join me with this affirmation. I am here for God. My purpose is to express the nature of God as love, abundance, and joy in everything I do. The good I seek for myself is what I desire for all people everywhere. And so it is.
Well, thanks for having me back in CSL. My mom and my brother and sister and I lived with my grandparents while my brother and I attended first and second grade at Washington School. My grandparents lived in a big white house that's on the corner of Mount Vernon and Gurley. And my brother and I, there's a little back bedroom that's tacked on. The roof wasn't very high. It was about like that. Papa and Granny had a TV, and our favorite show was Superman. And we found out that if we got one of Granny's bath towels and put it on with a shoestring for the back, and we got up on the roof, we could actually fly right down into the yard. So when I heard this song from Guy Clark called The Cape, I figured I'd better learn it. And I'll share it with you right now. 8 years old with a flour sack cape tied all around his neck. He climbed up on the garage, figuring what the heck. He screwed his courage up so tight till the whole thing come unwound. He got a running start, and bless his heart, he headed for the ground. One of those who knows that life is just a leap of faith. Spread your arms and hold your breath, and always trust your cape. All growed up with a flour sack cape tied all around his dreams. He's full of piss and vinegar, he's busting at the seams. He licked his finger and checked the wind, gonna be do or die. He wasn't scared of nothing, boys, he was pretty sure he could fly. One of those who knows that life is just a leap of faith. Spread your arms and hold your breath, and always trust your cape. Old and gray with a flour sack cape tied all around his head. He's still jumping off the garage, and he will be till he's dead. All these years the people said he's acting like a kid. He did not know he could not fly, and so he did. One of those who knows that life is just a leap of faith. Spread your arms and hold your breath, and always trust your cape. Spread your arms and hold your breath, and always trust your cape. Guy Clark.
What a beautiful song. Let's put it. Yay for Jackson, Clay, John, the practitioners, all of the volunteers, and everybody that it takes to make this building breathe and move like an entity. We're so grateful. We've been through so many changes personally, professionally, just as a group, and we're continuing to unfold in new and different ways, not better, because there wasn't anything wrong and there never is. But Spirit is an ever-moving, breathing thing, and it is continually unfolding. And sometimes moving away from the thing that we're tied to can be quite uncomfortable. And but when we set new intentions, then new things must happen, and it forces us to look at how we think and how we're moving and having our being. And so that happens, at a personal level, in a professional, in a group, in a community. So living an intentional life is something that came out of having conversations with Trini when he was here, and continued conversations. And I told you I love the idea of being an attentionist. And I was like, well, what does that really mean? And how can we do that with a current belief system that doesn't align with maybe we can't believe that we can have what we want, or maybe we're afraid that it won't come to be. Maybe we don't like the work that it would take to actually make it come to be. Maybe you don't have enough people. See, there's maybe. And so really what comes to us is that these are all belief systems or frameworks for the mind. Now, I don't know about you, but when I set an intention, Spirit has shown me and proven to me time and time again that what you want, you will get. Always. Amen. Always. And I was, as I continue to look at a new and different way of being and discovering the different frameworks of how I view the world, which I've always and try to be completely honest when I can, I began to see, there is my mom, when she was talking about her body, she was talking about it like it didn't belong to her. So she's in this phrase, she's like, last night she said, I'm seeing through these eyes. And I thought that was so interesting, through these eyes, not my eyes. She's starting to disassociate that the body, the mind, that there's something that is aware of these things. And this is the thing that we're learning about, but who we actually are. And so when we set an intention, this awareness informs us. But when we're raised to have a framework based on the different experiences that we've had in life, that unfolding can sometimes be very painful. I have learned that it's called a healing crisis, that we go through a healing crisis, and that is starting to see how we have framed the world. And when you have that, oh my God, I didn't know I believed that moment, you start to recognize how everything is built off a central and core frame, and then it kind of trickles down into different belief systems. And the beauty of the people that come into our lives that we might have discord with show us where those frameworks are and belief systems are. And I've always said it doesn't mean that that person is or isn't this or that. But what love does show us by the people we meet is where we need to come in contact with something within ourselves. Now, Tracy, just like you, we all have a framework and an identity, and Tracy can be kind of neurotic, and she's very picky about food, and she's a little dramatic at times, and she has different frameworks, and as those scaffoldings fall, I'm always so surprised that I'm here still, honestly. And what I've learned is Tracy really is she's not so consequential in the grand scheme of things, that it's better to just let her do what she does. So otherwise there's a resistance that happens, and a blaming that happens. And this is where we start to see the crisis of the mind, where we think, oh, I shouldn't be that, or I shouldn't have said that, or I shouldn't do that, or you start to put on masks and you start to wear them very proudly, like I need to be this to that person and this to that person, and something inside feels not quite comfortable, and you lack vulnerability in heart. So as I thought about the talk today, and I definitely have one written up, always when I'm sitting there meditating, Spirit was like, not so fast. And so I really wanted to talk about setting intentions and to be very vulnerable, and to really say that living from the heart is truly who we are and what we do. It's the framework that we give more conscious attention to. And when we start to let that go, life can be a little disorienting, and we can even go into a little bit of a depression because we've banked so much of our lives on what we believe to be true. And when you watch somebody, and maybe you've had the experience of sitting with somebody who is passing, I personally haven't had that, much experience. Both of my parents are still living. I did get to sit with one of our members when they were near passing, and that was such a beautiful thing. And what you start to see is nothing matters. My mom has these conversations now about divvying up what little assets that she has, and she considers those her gift. And we had conversations about, well, what picture do you want? And she's been all over the world. My dad was in the military. She has Yardros and Hummels, and she has alabaster grapes, and she has furniture from Belgium, and a trunk full of things. And she's like, you guys don't want any of it? And I was like, no, we don't want any of it. And so she's like, well, just take one thing to remember me by. And of course, we will. But what's interesting to me is how much happiness these things brought her for the short period of time. And that now that she's leaving or transitioning out, these things aren't so important anymore. And the things that become important are sitting bedside and saying what you need to say, and owning things that you need to own, and telling your mommy that you love her and that she's been a great mommy no matter what has happened, because anything before this moment is no longer here. And so then I started to think, how do we do this with our relationships when people are around us, and how our framework ties us to discord sometimes? I don't know about you, but my personality can be tied to discord because my framework has been survival. My framework has been, my self-preservation strategy is get her done, let's do it, build, go, and my specialty hasn't been, let's sit down and talk. That's not Tracy. You probably won't get that from her too often. But as something gives way and those scaffoldings start to fall, those frameworks start to fall away, and the heart is a little bit more present because that's our true nature, this beautiful thing starts to happen as these things show up. Abundance, because that's what you are. Now, when Trini said, I don't know if you heard him, but different things, if you were here in his conversation, he said something like, I've died to myself to be in the flow. And I don't know, but that stood with me. Like, I die to myself to be in the flow. And what he was saying is that my true nature is all that I am, and who I present myself to you will be dependent on the framework in which you move and have your being in this world. He also said, I am the medicine. And what he's saying there is the medicine is my truth, my nature, that I show up with my heart open wide, and that you may call me teacher or curado or shaman, but I consider myself an intentionist. And I give my life through active service, because I think he said something like, what I give to you, I get back. And by helping you, I become, who I am. It feeds me, that he uses the reciprocity of life to move and have his being. And I was so, if you were in his presence for any period of time, you felt the calmness and the heart. And if you got to have a conversation with him, you met a being that was so beautiful and emitted love at such a high frequency that I don't know, but I at one moment just broke down and cried because I felt like he could see Tracy. And you know what? He could, and he loved her. And by him loving that personality, it showed me that it's possible for her to be loving, and that who she is and how she became that way it's inconsequential. What is important is how we show up, how we listen, how things are heard, and for us to know and take responsibility when something is running through our framework. Because we can't set intentions to have the life that we want. We will always keep having the same life unless we start taking responsibility for the life that we've created. And I don't know about you, but that word responsibility really scares me a little bit. One of the things that I've discovered about myself is I have to be good enough. I have to succeed. I have to be the person that you need me to be so that we don't fail or make mistakes. And I really wasn't taught that making mistakes was okay. And the truth is they are. But if you can imagine being raised that way, then you're always trying, you would be the person who's trying to impress, or you'd be the person who's trying to do the right thing. And maybe blame, shame, and fear and guilt are a part of that framework for somebody who was brought up that way. And when that starts to get shown to you, it's kind of scary, because it has been your safety preservation strategy for so long. And when it starts to fall away, you have nothing else to grasp onto. You have nothing to hold on to. And this reality comes, and it is very different and disorienting. So as I set the intention to be awake and aware and to be a loving presence, well, you can't do that if you don't see the ways you're not. And if you don't see the ways you're not, then you will always gather the same thing. Interesting thing happened, I'm at the hospital till 1 a.m. My mom's like, "Did you write your sermon?" I go, "Well, it's a talk," she's Catholic. And I go, "No, but you know what, I trust that the right thing will come." And so I did write a talk, but I've kind of left it alone. And when I was walking out the door this morning, I have this old library cart. When you're in school and they had those metal library carts and that had all those lovely books, I decided one day I needed to find one on Facebook. So I sent the intention, and I always find, this is something, if you know me, know that if I set an intention to find something, it will manifest, and we will get it. I take great pride in that, by the way. But there was a book sitting, and I don't know, Esty must have got in the books, and as I was walking out, for some reason, this book was sitting in the top of the pile, and I don't know where I got it from. I don't know when I bought it. It has a tag on it, so it came from Thrifty Books. So I must have ordered it. I must have thought it was a good book, but I never picked it up and opened it. But why does this keep happening to me? Is the name of the book, again. And I thought, before we can talk about intention as an individual, as a person, as a family, as a community, as a job, we have to know why this is happening to me again. Because usually the intention is so that this stops happening. If I get what I want, this won't happen to me again. If I just get that job, if I just get that house, if I just get that person to like me, if I just become the greatest minister ever, then whatever. And when that doesn't happen, you get kind of fussy, right? Instead of setting the intention to become awake and aware at all the things that are preventing me from seeing who I actually am. And as I opened this book, I thought I could open this book to any point and we could have a conversation about it. And so I thought this was really beautiful, because they all line with our teaching. In Aramaic, it is said that in order to live, you had to die. This may sound like a ridiculous statement, but when you see that the old self, the false, the disempowering self has to go or die for the true self to live, it makes perfect sense, because it is a death of sorts. And that was really the message of Trini, is when he said, I had died in myself to be in the flow, we all have to lose the framework. And it's so powerful, because as I was reading this book, and I do highly suggest it actually, he says the blockage of truth, and mind is in denial, literally, and mind, I can read. I am not in the third grade standing in front of the teacher right now. I am safe. A mind in denial literally hides information from itself. It does not see information contrary to what it believes. Isn't that interesting? The mind does not see information contrary to what it believes, so it will always see what it believes. And the problem is we don't always know what we believe, because we're living it, right? What we do is get discord that's showing us, but unless we look at ourselves and take responsibility as to why this keeps happening to me, then we're always going to blame. And by blaming, we give our power away. We make other people more powerful than we are, and we're basically allowing that person to accelerate our growth. And so we must have tools, sometimes teachers, to show us and point the way. You torture yourself and make healing impossible by holding on to blame. Now, this is a framework that I've seen recently, and I'm digging into it more and more, so I don't really like to go into too much about myself until I've kind of come out on the other side. But I will say that the framework, one of the frameworks that I saw that is collapsing is blame, but it's more blame of myself for not being good enough. That ever since I was a little girl, I have blamed myself for not being good enough. I remembered the stories of standing in front of the teacher and her, I think I've talked about this, youthful experience, and as that framework starts to fall, what you see first is how it was built. When you sit and listen to your mom, when you truly listen, you can see the innocence of her words, that she had no idea how powerful they were, even though they stung. That my father, as I drove him to the hospital and wanted to open the door and push him out, because he was driving me crazy. That was a joke. I would never push my father out of the car. But he was so nervous, and he was in so much pain, and he's so afraid to be alone. I could start to see how that framework was built. I watched it in action, and within it rose this complete and utter compassion for him. That he did the best job that he could do in raising me. And I have spent my whole life fighting who I've become instead of just allowing her to be okay and not measure myself by what everybody thinks and says, and just let Tracy have a break and to allow the truth of my being to come to the forefront, that it's always there. And as the structures and the framework fall, the beautiful thing is the heart is exposed. The heart is exposed when we let the old stories go, and we start to see how we use these preservation strategies to protect ourselves. And the honest moment of vulnerability is so scary, because in my mind it sees it as like, I'm not going to let them have that. But I don't even know that I'm doing it, because a mind that is living from its framework isn't always conscious of its framework. So it's not a conscious representation of push and pull. It's, this doesn't feel good and I don't like it. Why does it keep happening to me again? And until we take it really, really seriously, that there is a way out of the matrix, until we see that, this doesn't mean that every person in our being is going to change. Every person in our realm is going to change. What it does is gives them the freedom to be themselves, so they can see their own framework. And then once we see the framework, then we no longer take things personally, and then blame loses its power. And then what comes from that is genuine, authentic curiosity, inquiry, so that you can be the light of your being. And they may not get it, and they might leave, and that's okay. People leave. They leave for their own reasons, because of their discomfort. They leave because they can no longer handle the discomfort of being in front of you. But it doesn't mean that you're wrong because they leave. It doesn't mean that we're wrong because they leave. It's just sometimes we have to give people the space to find their own way. And what I have learned is that is love. And it doesn't feel like it sometimes. But when the safety preservations fall away, the truth of your being comes to the forefront. And that mind, that denial that hides itself, it falls away. And then what's truly left is the truth of your being. And then we can engage in forgiveness. And forgiveness that I saw you through my framework, through my structure, through my pain, my wounds, my not enoughness, my. And then when that falls away, people get to be who they are, and then you see their pain. And then you get to share in the beauty of who they really are. And this is what, practitioners do. They see the framework in which you're living, and they find the kindest and most gentlest way to point you in the right direction. And I tell you, wherever you have the most resistance is where the most work is. And how do you know resistance? It's when you go, oh, let me see if I could do my little 18-month-old. No. I'm like, no, Mommy, no. And you'll know that feeling because it just closes everything inside of you. And what's so scary is when everything inside of you opens, you feel like you're a moving target for everybody's arrows. But what you realize is, let them shoot. Let them land. Because it doesn't matter anyway. None of it's true. They're all lies that we've taken on as a way and a measure to protect ourselves. But the beauty of life, the bliss that Trini and all teachers talk about, is letting those scaffoldings fall. But first we have to find them, we have to look at them, we have to be honest about them, and it's a private conversation with oneself. It's a private conversation between you and yourself. And if you're like me, when you discover it, you like to tell everybody that you found it because you're so excited that everybody should know what you know because it will work for you. But the truth is that's just another preservation strategy. Look what I saw. You can like me now. No. And that's okay, because that's perfect too. Everything has a time, a place, and a season. And what I have learned is we are growing flowers. And flowers that chokes out the weeds. John talks about his back 40 and all of his flowers. I love hearing him talk about his flowers. He has such passion for his flowers. And I've never seen his yard, but every time he talks about it, I close my eyes and imagine sitting in his field of flowers. I feel like that's the most beautiful place anybody could be. And as I'm sitting there, there's nothing else but the heart. And that is my dream, to me, is what humanity is really looking for. We're looking to wake up to the heart. We're looking to see how we always end up in the same place again. That's why people are drawn to a place like this. That's why we have classes and we invite new speakers, because everybody's framework is different. So what I might reach and somebody else might reach is different. So I love to bring different ways of being and seeing and doing. And it might not all be for you, and that's okay. But there is something for you because you're here. So there is something that's whispering inside of you. Wake up now. You're safe. And as we learn to do that, we'll set intentions by our visions, our values, our mission, and the universe will bring that energy to us, because the same energy that is in resistance brings to you. And what we want to do is let that go. And as a group, as an entity, we want to bring new energy in, and we have been. We're doing well. And, that's kind of scary too, is that we can be doing well while things are changing. Because we yearn for the old. As I sat with my mom, there was one night that I cried and I cried. I couldn't cry anymore. And this little girl came out that just wanted her mommy. And my mom was stroking my hair, and the more she stroked my hair, the more I cried. And I was like, I just want my mom. I just wanted that feeling my whole life. That hug that your mom gives you when you're in so much pain. And that's what I want as a friend to you, as a spiritual leader, as a practitioner, is for you to feel the warm hug and embrace, and to understand when I fall short of that, it's okay, because we all do. And I know that true forgiveness is being empathetic to the preservation strategies that we all carry. And to set the intention to move forward is to realize that we already are that. We just need to let the false fall away. And that all that will be revealed to you is beauty. And while it's disorienting and we're in the healing crisis, that we lift each other up with a gentle hug and a kind word. It's so easy to be mean. It's so easy to gossip. It's so easy to do all of those things. But it takes a tremendous toll on the soul. I want this to be a place where people come and feel safe. And I have to lead the way with doing that. And that's something that has been revealed to me. And we're allowed to make mistakes. And we're allowed to try again. And we're allowed to say, I'm sorry. And we're allowed to listen. And with that, we'll close with prayer. I will say, I love you. I love you. I see you. And everything is always okay, even at the end. I just know right here, right now, that there is only one truth, one everlasting, beautiful, honest, living truth, the light of the living being, always giving birth to itself, to know itself greater. And that as it enters into the world as a being and it takes on these attributes of joy and sorrow, right and wrong and good and bad, confusion and conflict, that there is always something whispering when we get very still that says, come home now. And we start to follow that after a lifetime, this one or the next, or maybe deep suffering or pain, financial problems, health. And what these things do is they draw us back unto ourselves so we can start to inquire, who am I? And as that inquiry deepens, we start to gain the tools to look, to see. The beautiful thing about God or reality is that it has manifested itself in so many different ways for so many different people to take the journey. And all it requires is a gentle yes, which is a surrender. Sometimes confusion leads to the most beautiful road. And as we walk that road, we put to bed the things that keep us from ourselves. The illusion is cast out. The doubt, the fear, the anger, the hate, the confusion, the crisis. We see it for what it is, and we shine the light of love on it. That there is nothing to hate, absolutely nothing. That when we shine the light of love from the heart, all is revealed, all is shattered, and what remains is the flower. Not grasp tightly holding it, but allowing it to open and bloom so that we can truly know a life beyond the objective world and live in it, but not of it. That this is the true beauty of spirit. These are the true teachings of Ernest Holmes, as to how to undogmatize the pain and the conflict and the struggle. And as we take classes, we release what is not ours. The thing that binds us sets us free. And for that, we are eternally grateful. For I am the flow, I am the medicine, I am the shaman in my own life. I am the cure, I am the answer, I am the revealing, and I am the truth. I am the light, and I am the way. I release these words into the law, knowing that I have set the intention for this community, for each and every person in here, that the heart and the awakening is yours, and that as things are revealed to you, you are held safely in the arms and the hands of the loving one, which is you. That there is nothing unlike that. And the last thing Trini said to me in my conversation was, in capital letters on WhatsApp, no fear ever. And as we step into that truth, as we step into that revealing, as we step into that light, and everything unlike it is cast out, I claim this for you and everyone you know, for myself and for the world. Wake up now. Wake up. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Spirit. Knowing all is well. With the deepest of gratitude, I release it, and so it is. Let's stand.
Will we let the love
every time. It just opens my heart, especially Jackson. Doesn't he just sing that song so beautifully? We're so grateful for his beautiful voice and that he's chosen to be here with us on Sundays. Thank you, Jackson. Woo!
Oh, you're welcome.
All right, it is that time in the service that we do the offering, and we're going to read our affirmation. And I just want to remind us that we are not looking for abundance, we are abundant. And that everything you have, everything you are, and everything that comes to you is abundance. And then we celebrate that gratitude, and then the universe is like, yay, she wants more. And that's what we're always doing. And I said to Trini, I go, I just love my little babies. And he said, that is your true abundance. And every time I look at them now, when they're throwing a toy at my head, I go, you're true abundance. So when life's throwing something at you, just say that. Remember, Tracy said that's true abundance. So read it with me, please. Divine love in and through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, all that I receive. Thank you, life. And so it is.
I got to get faster on the jaw. Sorry, Jackson. Well, I like any song that has a rainstorm in it. So this is a song, Chris Christopherson song called Here Comes That Rainbow Again. I Googled up Chris singing it on YouTube, and he said, I didn't write that song. He said, John Steinbeck wrote this song. All Chris did was make it rhyme. I think it came from The Grapes of Wrath, which I really recommend if you haven't yet read it. The scene was a small roadside cafe. The waitress was sweeping the floor. Two truck drivers drinking their coffee. Two oaky kids by the door. How much are them candies, they asked her. How much have you got? She replied, we've only a penny between us. Well, them's two for a penny, she lied. And the daylight grew heavy with thunder, with the smell of the rain on the wind. Ain't it just like a human? Here comes that rainbow again. One truck driver called to the waitress after the kids went outside. Them candies ain't two for a penny. What's it to you? She replied. In silence, they finished their coffee, got up, nodded goodbye. She called, hey, you left too much money. What's it to you? They replied. And the daylight grew heavy with thunder, with the smell of the rain on the wind. Ain't it just like a human? Here comes that rainbow again. Ain't it just like a human? Here comes that rainbow again. Chris Christopherson.
Yay!
Thanks.
Thank you. I love Chris Christopherson. I could hear him in my head talking about that song too, with his little swagger and coolness. Don't we all wish we were cool like him? Well, you are, in your own way. All right, can I have my beautiful Oh, Kathleen, come and thank you for your service, Miss Kathleen. It's deeply appreciated. All right. We just know right here, right now, that we are the abundance in which we seek. And we are the abundance in which we speak. And we are the abundance which is drawn to us. And we are the abundance that always shows up. And because of this truth, we live from the deepest part of our heart that says, yes, Spirit, thank you, Spirit, more Spirit, please, Spirit, we love you, Spirit. And with that intention setting that there is enough, we have enough, that we give and we receive with the openness of heart, and no fear, just joy, bliss, and the stillness of being. We celebrate this community with the gifts of Spirit here, that which are to be received, that which is given those that show up by surprise, that it's all Spirit showing us that we are open to receive and equally giving. With that, I release these words into the law, knowing that it is perfect, it is here, it is now, and there is no worry, no fear, no shame, no blame, just livingness, goodness, and love. And so it is. Thank you. All right. If you are new, I want to see you. And if you don't want to stand up, that's fine. But if you are new, please stand so we can. Hi. Now, you stood for being a practitioner. Are you a practitioner?
Yes.
Where are you from?
I'm from Scottsdale originally, and then I was in Sedona for 2 years, and I just recently moved here with my husband.
Wow. Are you going to be a practitioner with us? Oh, no pressure. You don't have to answer that question right now. What is your name? Coffee. I love that. Who cannot forget that name? Where's the coffee? Thank you, Coffee, for blessing us with your presence today. We really appreciate you. Yay, I look forward to getting to know you. Is there anybody else in the audience that's news today? Well, you would be news if you're new. Is there anyone new that would like to stand up and just share your presence with us so we can celebrate you? Okay, well, that's fine. They usually come up to me after and say I didn't want to stand, so no pressure. And if you're new online, welcome. We love you too. Please send in emails, thoughts, opinions. We always like to hear what we're doing well. Those are always welcome, what we're doing well. And there's a book store out here with used books, gently used books, and maybe like mine, the right one will fall off for you, because that literally I picked it up, I was walking out, and as I was driving up here, I'm like, Spirit, you always make me laugh, always. Darn you for rewriting my whole talk. But it is the perfect book, and I encourage you to inquire about it and take a peek. All right, well, thank you so much. We love you, and we will be meeting in Sibley Hall for some treats and some community. And first, we will do prayer, and it is just that time for our benediction, I think. Is that correct, Jackson?
It is.
It is. All right, take it away, Jackson. Can you do that for us?
Well, look at Bob. He's asking everyone to stand up again. Grab a hand if you feel comfortable with that. And we're going to read this benediction and then sing our way out with a Ricky Byers song this week. A little bird said they wanted to hear something different. Something wonderful is happening through me right now. It is happening through my mind, my body, and my affairs.
I think it, I believe it, I feel it, I know it, I accept it. Thank you, life.
When I release and I let go, I let the Spirit run my life. My heart is open wide. You're the only
that you all work so hard on. So if you want to stay for a few minutes, it's going to be a short meeting. We just want to give all that information to you. We've been advertising it. Please stay with us for a few minutes after community. Thank you.